Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, there apparently is a rift between Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor. And apparently it stems from allegedly DeSantis not committing to Trump in 2024. You know, there's some polls out there that show that Trump beats DeSantis by 40 points in a Republican primary. Everybody in this country, sometimes things go to their head. And I hope this is not the case for Ron DeSantis. That they think that, okay, I'm on a different level. And they're not. Ron DeSantis has done an excellent job as governor of Florida. But he's not Trump. DeSantis is not going to draw the crowds and the following, the supporters that Trump does. It's just that simple. Trump's the leader. So let's hope that DeSantis acknowledges that and we don't have a primary of any consequence. But who knows? If that goes down, I'm for Trump. The Democratic Agricultural Secretary out of Florida went after DeSantis, calling him Hitler. Isn't it amazing how the left invokes Hitler for those who do all they can to help us with freedom? Pretty amazing. The Supreme Court refused to block the effort to stop the mask mandates with the airlines. I'm telling you, this Supreme Court, we're lucky that they stopped it with the OSHA Biden mandate. Of course, we fell one vote short on the good old healthcare workers. Biden has spent most of his time the past year, at least half of it, in Delaware at his home. And apparently they keep visitor logs there, and they refuse to produce those visitor logs the same way they do the White House. Now, I don't care on one hand. I mean, if I was president of the United States, I'd say, what do we need visitor logs for? But I do want to say this, that if he spends half his time at Delaware and they keep these logs at the White House, I say we should be able to see the logs. What the hell are they hiding? Was Epstein and Weinstein and Bill Clinton and Bill Cosby going to the Delaware? Heck, who knows? I know some of, Epstein's already passed. The World Health Organization says that there is no evidence at all that children and young adolescents, teenagers, need a booster if they're healthy. Are we going to ignore that? Are we going to ignore that? See, it always cracks me up, the science, but then they ignore the science. Sotomayor, speaking of the United States Supreme Court, is only hearing oral arguments remotely because Gorsuch won't wear a mask. I love it. We got some friction going. Good for Gorsuch. Of course, unlike frat boy Kavanaugh, Gorsuch hung tough. Thank God Trump got to appoint Gorsuch. In Belgium, they are advising nobody should take the Moderna vaccine anymore because it causes heart inflammation. You know, Tucker Carlson had on his show last night somebody from the Netherlands, and they were speaking about these issues. And Tucker said something that is very true. He goes, we need to pay attention to what's going on in the rest of the world. He said, even I don't even pay attention as much as I should. We live in this American glass bowl. But you know what? These European countries, Israel, Germany, Israel's not Europe, but Israel, Germany, Japan, Belgium, all these countries that come up with this information and whatnot, these are our allies. They're not stupid folks, people. I mean, these are quality allies. So when they report things that are going on relative to the vax and everything else, we're supposed to just ignore it if it's bad news for the vax team? By the way, I got to add one funny thing about the vax. I found out that Chris Wiest, who's now no longer an ally of mine, he told the story that he got vaccinated because his family was traveling to Florida. What? Florida, where they don't require vax? Guess what? I traveled to Florida the last 2 years, never got vaxxed at all. He lied to you. You all now know that Chris Weiss got vaxxed because he never shared with you that his wife is a UC Health upper management pro-vax gal. Isn't that hysterical? Isn't that hysterical? Chris Weiss, the champion of constitutional rights, got vaxxed. He works for himself. There's no mandate on Chris Weiss. He got mandated by his wife, one of the vax Nazis. Carhartt. We all love Carhartt, right? Well, maybe not so much anymore. Carhartt is giving February 15th as the deadline for their 5,500 employees to get vaccinated. You know, this is like NASCAR and some of the stupid things they've done recently. Why, and NFL too, why are you hurting your base? Who buys Carhartt? I'm telling you right now, it isn't the liberals. It isn't the American Communist 10. Americans like you and I buy Carhartt. And they're doing this to their workers? Why do you self-impose a problem? Makes no sense whatsoever. 5G, I don't understand 5G, but there are some European countries and Middle Eastern country, United Emirates Airlines are canceling flights because there's 5G issues near some cities that they think are going to cause interference with airlines. Isn't that special, to quote Church Lady? Oh my goodness. I don't know anything about it, but that's going on. Elizabeth Warren, who got mad at CNN talking about they're going to probably lose the midterms, Elizabeth Warren is saying this Supreme Court is radical in their devastating voting rights and everything else. You know, to hear people like Elizabeth Warren, these political gangsters who don't know what the hell they're talking about, speak, it's excruciating what comes out of their mouth. Oil prices are expected to keep going up through 2022. Heck, I think last time I checked, barrel of oil was like $84. It's going to be worse. Going to hit you. Bernie Sanders, when asked, says yes, he supports a cinema or mansion Democratic primary. Can you imagine if somebody that was from the left ran against them, particularly Manchin in West Virginia? They'd get smoked. The U.S. murder rate is the highest it's been in 25 years. What have these major cities wrought? And you don't think that that young woman, UCLA graduate, that got murdered by the bad guy, you don't think that that man didn't think, by the way, he's at large, didn't think, I can get away with this kind of stuff now. I'm telling you, folks, the hardened criminals in these major cities think they got a good chance of getting away with anything. Thus, the crime goes up. And the blacks in those cities that are the criminals, the black criminals, there's white criminals too, but the black criminals, they think they got a special black privilege because of what's going on in this country. It's truly amazing. By the way, do you believe Joe Biden once said that George Floyd changed the world more than Martin Luther King Jr.? What? Are you kidding me? Jeff Pastor. I mean, you can't make this up. Jeff Pastor is going to go to trial on his criminal corruption charge. I don't know what's going to happen, but you ready for the punchline? Ben Duzing's his lawyer. What happens is in the middle of the trial, Ben Duzing gets suspended. I mean, there's a motion pending before the Kentucky Supreme Court, and trust me, these people love suspending people. Of course, Ben Duzing, unlike me, deserves it. Joe Rogan. Apparently, there was this list of 270 doctors wanting to get Joe Rogan canceled. By the way, Spotify isn't going to cancel their #1 hit. They're not stupid. Plus, they've already paid him all the money. But do you know this? Apparently, some of those people that claim to be doctors aren't doctors. I tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, we live in different times. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.